I had something on my list that I'd been dreading for weeks. A whole new subject to learn. A problem that felt too big to even start. I put it on the list, I sorted it, I followed the process, and when I finally sat down to do it, it took half a day, and it's already changing our lives. Today I want to talk about why the hardest part was never the work. Naming the fear depressurizes it. The nervous system item lived as an ambiguous dread until it hit the paper. Once it had a name and category, it stopped being shapeless. And the lesson is unnamed fears can't be bounded, but named ones can. So the list doesn't just organize, it defines. It gives you the ability to actually see what it is you're trying to fix, what it is you need to do, you need to address. Sorting gives your brain permission. Separating 20 things into categories tells your mind it doesn't have to treat everything as equally urgent anymore. That permission is what made focus possible for me. Most people skip this and try to execute while still carrying everything at full volume. That's why it feels impossible. The execution itself was anticlimactic, actually. It only took half a day. I already had the resources, I already had the tools I needed. It was a piece of cake putting together that nervous system program for Brandi and I for doing rehabilitation and getting ourselves to a place that we could actually de-escalate ourselves. And on top of that, it actually opened up a lot of other interesting insights that I had no idea what was really affecting us so much. And really, I found out that everything was hinging on our schedule being too dysregulated and being too much in a reactionary phase of the amount of things that we're trying to deal with in life. But having that nervous system protocol developed for ourselves and just practicing it on a daily basis, it's just the mindfulness alone has had great results for us, has really calmed down our life a lot. So in reality, the thing I was dreading and I was thinking, oh man, this is going to be days of research and I might have to dedicate a whole week to figuring this out, and I don't know, like maybe this is going to be like a whole month or a couple months and I'm going to have to like really majorly focus on this. Instead, it turned out that it was a very simple execution, and because I've already kind of taken care of similar projects and similar things like this, and I've learned a lot of different tools and things I can use, particularly using LLMs to organize information more quickly, I was able to develop that, and we've been seeing the results. So what I was dreading became a very quick solution to bigger problems, overarching problems in our life and our overall system of being.
What do you say to someone that still feels paralyzed before they can actually start?
So that's a great question. Paralysis at execution almost always means something is still unnamed. So that you are feeling on an intuitive level that you haven't figured it all out yet. And what that means is that discovery isn't actually done. So a lot of times procrastination is there because on some level you intuitively know that there's more to this problem, there's more to this thing than just what appears on the surface. Now sometimes it's just fear. It's just flat out something that you just have to face and you have to do it. But it's a good idea to treat it initially as like, okay, well, is there something more to this that I haven't really figured out yet? Maybe I need to break it down further. So discovery isn't actually done yet. You need to go back one phase and find it. For execution, what I find is often it comes down to this war of preparation versus just going on and just doing the thing. And there's this certain line where preparation is kind of just BS. It's not really, you can never be fully prepared for anything. And if there's this kind of perfectionistic tendency inside of you, and I am familiar with the argument, I'm not a perfectionist, I just have high standards. I just know what I want it to look like. I know where I want to be, what I want to feel like before I do something. I get that. But eventually you have to kind of zero in that a little bit and deal with realistic expectations. Sometimes you're just going to be scared to jump, and it is what it is. But make sure that you do know what you're actually doing and that you have mapped it out. You understand what it is you're actually setting yourself out to do. Then it's just a matter of committing to it and doing it. But make sure that discovery phase is over. Make sure that you've actually mapped out the territory of the thing you're going to try to undertake. And from that point, it's a matter of just making the choice. And it's a matter of being realistic with yourself. It's not going to feel easy. It's not going to feel like it's a piece of cake every time, especially if it's something big, if it's something that is really new for you and is taking a different level of effort. Or if, for one thing, like back to the nervous system, maybe your nervous system is just overwhelmed with the amount of things that you have going on. Maybe you've got so much happening in your life, so much you're trying to take care of, that one more thing feels really overwhelming. That's where you might need to zoom out and you might need to pay attention. Like, is it really even this thing, the thing itself, that I'm actually even afraid of, or that I'm feeling stressed out about trying to start it? Maybe it's the other things that you are unconsciously committed to and feeling that has to surround the whole thing. It's the overall context that's actually bothering you and not the thing itself. So be aware of that. Pay attention to where that fear is really coming from, because it is a signal. It means something. It doesn't mean nothing. But then you make a decision from that point, strategically, operationally. Is this a situation where I'm not adequately prepared? Or is this a situation where I just need to set aside the other things that are bothering me, or just the discomfort that's naturally there, trying to enter in onto something that's disturbing my patterns, that's making me go into something different, and I just need to do it and embrace the process. Here's your one step. Pick the thing on your now queue you've been most afraid to start. Ask yourself, is the fear about the work itself or about everything that's still unnamed around it? Because if it's the second one, you're not ready to execute yet. You need one more pass through discovery. But if you've done the work, if you've named it, sorted it, and you know it's the right next move, the only thing left between you and starting is the story you're telling yourself about how hard it's going to be. Put that story on the list too, then park it. Wisdom first, always.